coming your way right here, right now. Officially, this will go down as episode number 231. You can jump on board the Unfiltered Revolution 24/7, 365. It's easy. iTunes, Spotify, everywhere you get your podcasts, or artists formerly known as Twitter. X, if you will, at Casey Stern. Jump up into the bio, get on the YouTube channel, get all the conversations, the guests, the podcast episodes. Like, subscribe, comment, tell your friends, and all that good stuff. Of course, speaking of friends, thank you to the Unfiltered Band as we embark on episode 231. Where in the world is Shohei Ohtani? We will get into one of the crazier days in recent memory in social media for this sport and in the hot stove, what it means, what went right, what went wrong, and where in the heck is Shohei and what is the name of his dog? All the great questions we're all dying to know. Bet Online is your number one source for your sports betting needs. You know that. Latest odds, matchup reports, basketball, football, baseball, boxing, golf, everything you could ever want and more. They continue to be the fastest and easiest way to get all your wagers, live betting, favorite casino and card games. They're all available right now from your phone. Get over to the website, head over to the mobile device, and sign up today. Get in on all the action. Remember, though, to use the promo code BELIEVE. It's BLEAV. 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. It is Bet Online where the game starts. We'll get started here and get into all of this and comments, questions, fire away, and everybody's got their thoughts. We don't have to ask ourselves anything, and I'll just use somebody who's in the know now as a good example about Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers is going to be everywhere. Aaron Rodgers is going to be telling you everything. We already know all there is to know and too much every damn day. But about Shohei Ohtani, we seem to know nothing. We're not even allowed to know the name of his dog, let alone where he is, where he's flying, where he's signing. And heaven forbid, Dave Roberts in winter meeting should mention that, yes, we met with a guy who clearly is a great fit for us, already lives in the area, is the top free agent ever. We're the Dodgers, and we decided to meet with him. Is this news to anybody? It's not. Now, I've said since day one, and will continue to say, I would be shocked and I'd be stunned if he didn't end up a Dodger. And as I said today and felt as it seemed like he was headed to Toronto physically and literally, and maybe both still will be at some point, I will continue to say I will be stunned and say, hey, I was wrong. But the reason he will be a Dodger or won't be a Dodger won't be dependent on what Dave Roberts did or didn't say, or whether Doc wanted to admit or didn't admit, or step out of bounds in some way by saying he met Shohei Ohtani, but it gives you the idea of the secrecy and where we are in this industry right now with this player. Got the hottest free agent of all time, and you've got a media that is searching for information. You got articles, and I'm not saying they're right or wrong, because to me, look, it's unfair to tell a player how to make decisions in his life, but clearly there is an advantageous nature for the player for attention in some cases, but for the media, they need the information. So I understood Buster Olney and others stepping out and making comments and saying, hey, look, not good for you, not good for the industry, because it's not good for me. Me being the writer, me being the reporter, me being the guy who breaks the news, me being the guy who's got to write about information, because I got nothing to write about. Because the biggest deal that happened at winter meetings was what? Got Juan Soto after it ended in that trade. So because of that, you're searching for something to write. This is the guy you want to write about, and you can't not even allowed to find out the dog's name, let alone know anything else. And that is what creates, even more so than what has been created over the last decade plus in this industry, of this need to be first, this I got to be first, I got to break the news, I got to fulfill my obligations with editors and producers and my name value and my brand and my clicks and my hits on Instagram or on Twitter and my likes, and all those things lead to dollars, and I get all of that, and the pressure behind the scenes that people don't care about, I get all that, and it's why I never wanted to break news. That's certainly good. The good gets good if you can do it. But there's a reason why there's only 4 or 5 in all the sports that's like, okay, you can rely on, boom, there they are. Because you got good people in this industry that happen to know and really respect going at each other about, no, what you wrote is not in caps, as Bob Nightingale put. Correct. It's like, you don't want to be doing that to other reporters or writers, but this is what we're in now. No, I'm going to be right. No, you're going to be right. Now you're wrong. I don't want to be JP right now, clearly. I mean, I don't know who the sources were. And he's, look at a reputable human and a reputable journalist. I have no idea what happened or why or where the sources were, but you can't have the dude from Shark Tank being on the plane instead of Ohtani. I don't know how it happened, but I know how it happens. I know how it gets there. And this and all of this in this industry and all that we suck about, I got to know right now. I got to refresh Twitter 100 zillion times. Got to find out what is going on this damn second. They're all understanding that. That's how brands are built, and that's how we get here. And then when you get Ohtani and all the secrecy, and then you umpteenth it and exponentially to like 9 million, degrees, that's how you get here where we have what happened today. Where you've got reports that are being put out that Ohtani has chosen he's going to Toronto. These poor fans in Toronto. These poor fans that were probably driving to the airport, sitting there being like, oh my God, this is crazy. People writing about this is the greatest moment in Toronto sports since I don't even know what. These poor people and these fans who still may get this dude, who are in it to win it right now as a finalist, but thought there was no way in hell he's not going to go to the Dodgers or to the Yankees, at least when you looked at this over the last couple of years, or whoever, some big name. You're not coming to us? And I love Toronto, one of my favorite cities in the world. I'm not just saying that. I mean that. It has nothing to do with Toronto. This isn't anti-Toronto. It's not anti-Jays. But when you think about common sense, well, he lives there, it's Hollywood, and you're going to be with Betts and Freeman, and, he's not going to be as good of a team with the Jays as he's going to be on the Dodgers and what he could do and who he could be and all these other different things. It's just a little money. It seems to line up. It seems to line right up. Seems to make sense. I mean, it holds water, if you want to use the My Cousin Vinny term. So, yeah. I thought it'll be a Dodger, and look, as long as right now while I'm doing this, to put this out there, I'm not, because I can't scroll, that in these 20, 25, 15 minutes, however long it's going to be, he's not already a J, then I'm not wrong yet, but we'll see. But what happened today can't happen. It cannot happen because you don't want people in the media going at each other about your report is wrong or my report is right. You don't want to be in a situation where that happens, and you have to be sure. You cannot deal in happenstance. You do not have to. We have too many times that there are tweets that are being sent out by, and this is by, look, tons of different reporters in tons of different sports about, ideas that they think they got to fill space because if I don't get some news out or if I don't know something and everybody else seems to know other things and I got people breaking news about other players, I got to know something about the team I'm covering. I got to know something about the players I'm supposed to be hot on. I'm going to go put out that this is what's, we're closing in on or what I'm hearing. We all hear a lot of things. It's like when we hear like, a team is going to check on, a lot of teams are checking in on, said great free agent. Like, really? Is that a surprise? Honestly, hide the kids. No shit. Obviously. Seriously. Like things like that. Like, really? They're checking in? Like, if you're not checking the value of other assets as a human, let alone as a business person, let alone as a baseball team, for crying out loud, or checking in on your own assets and value. Oh, well, they're taking phone calls on said player. They answer the phone all the freaking time. You know how many times GMs are taking phone calls on players you don't hear about? Now, it shouldn't leak out because then the players get all sensitive, but these things happen all the time. We don't need 9 million tweets about it until something happens. I want to know when the news breaks, and then I want to know how you break it down, and that's how I learn. I read articles all the freaking time and have for years. Forget the 20 years I've been doing this, but all the years before that. Going back to newspapers as a kid, because you just want to learn, you want to soak up information. I love the opining, and I love learning and the analysis, and that's the stuff that you live for. But who breaks it first? Really, it doesn't matter. But it does to the people who break it first, because that's how a lot of them get paid. And that's the pressure on them to break it first. And I'm not saying that forgives things that happened today, because it cannot happen. But it is important to pull back the curtain and for people to understand that is why those things happen. Part of that is that pressure, that feeling. That's that moment of I'm going to break that big story and I'm going to be part of this big news. And I'm going to have my name. And then this stupid thing where we got to credit, we got 900 people. I'm even saying this for years. I'm sorry. And there's no offense to anybody in the industry. I respect the hell out of everybody who does this for a living, but it is ridiculous. You got to go ahead and fill a whole box in a tweet or an X or a post or whatever the hell it's called now, where, okay, this person had it first and that person had the next 3 sentences and this person had the next 2 paragraphs and this person had the next 7 sentences. And I really don't care. I want to know what happened in the deal. I want to know what it means. I want to know where that guy's going to play. I want to know how it affects the rest of the roster. I want to know how much money left they have to spend. I want to know where they're going next in the free agent market. I don't care. But we got to thank the 6 people who said 6 sentences before we got there. I mean, who the hell gives a shit? Sorry. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. But we do that because we have become so ingrained in this industry to bow down to or to credit or to give love for who goes first. And if you think that we're doing that and you think people in the media are doing it to each other, what the hell do you think the producers and the editors doing when it's their person who breaks it? And that's the part of this background in this whole aspect of things of being in this industry, watching this change that has gotten just way too crazy. And this is symptomatic of that. And yeah, it's fun. And, we could all poke jokes. And I was doing it today, like where Ohtani is and how talented he is. And, the pitcher Ohtani's in Toronto and the hitter Ohtani is in LA and vice versa or whatever. I mean, it's all great. But it's not great for the industry. It's not great for the fans of any of these teams. Not great for the teams. Not great for the player. Now, is that his fault because he's secretive? I don't know. I mean, maybe by default, indirectly. I don't think it is any of our business. He could do whatever the hell he wants. It's his life. If he doesn't want to tell anybody who's meeting with, now, there's a difference between he doesn't want to tell anyone he's meeting with and, like, if Dave Roberts admits he met with us, then we're not going to go there because that's garbage. But if he wants to be secretive, that's his choice. I can tell a player and I tell another human how to make a decision if this is the way he wants to do things. Oh, well, it's not good for us. It's not good for the industry. And there may be value in the fact that maybe it's not great for him because of his brand or however you want to look at it. But really, I mean, you can't 2 + 2 = 4 with that. I mean, he's Ohtani. He's about to have 550, 600, so whoever knows how many millions of dollars, plus he'll make off the field. Maybe there's an opt-out he can make more. The guy's one of one on, like, the planet. He don't care. Like, what do you think he's not getting off on, like, oh, well, thankfully they know I had 7 meetings in 7 different cities. We got on LeBron James when he met with Jim Gray and the decision and taking his talents to South Beach. Now we're getting mad that the guy's in the background. But all of these different things led to what happened today. And what happened today cannot happen tomorrow. And that's the sad part of all of this, is that it's not funny. You don't want people in the media going at each other. You want to be in a situation where you have that happen. But that can't happen. But we are putting out too many things where we're, not necessitating being sure and being right and being at the last minute because I got to get the next step. I got to be there somewhere in that mix. I got to get that credit. I get that. And that's not on JP or on Bob or on anybody else. That's just where we're at in this industry. That's the sad part. It's like when Florida State didn't get in, and I was, saying it just to kind of make the analogy, it's like it's the system's problem. It's not, I feel bad for the FSU kids, and no, it's not right to got 5 conferences and only 4 spots, and should it be the best teams, and how we eye testing and all the world of analysis we're living in, who the better teams are and the best teams, but it's the system's fault. It's the system's fault. When managers get to vote for their own players in the All-Star games, we get mad. How could you take your guy over my guy? What do you think I'm going to do? Go and tell my pitcher who's, in my rotation, like, sorry, I took that dude in our division over him? Like, I can't do that. It's not the manager's fault. That's the system's fault. When judging is bad in MMA, which I love, or in somebody you can make $1 million, and just like, it's the systems are flawed. The system that has put us here and the way that we are reacting to news and the way we're trying to break it is part of this problem and a bigger part of the problem than any of the people who are involved in it today. I don't know where the hell Shohei Ohtani is either. I watched 24. I'm trying to get Chloe to get the coordinates. We're trying to get, GPS locations on Ohtani. We're not even allowed to find out the guy's dog's name. But that's his prerogative. Eventually he's going to sign. And I still, until I'm proven otherwise, will think it's going to be the Dodgers. But not going to be because of some flight that the Shark Tank dude was on that we got wrong, or something leaked that didn't go right, or Dave Roberts commented somewhere didn't happen. It's going to be because he got paid oodles of money in a place he wants to live and play. That's his prerogative. but it is our right and prerogative to get the news right. And that's both the people in the media, and on the other side is people who are ingesting and taking in that information that deserve that information to be correct. You can get with us on Unfiltered. This one's in the books. Where's Ohtani? Where in the world? Filtered is